My thoughts on the latest chapters of Naruto, the Naruto and Sasuke fight, and so on. Going into the fight, I never really knew why Kishi was gonna establish a fight anyway, because based on all that happened, there was no legitimate reason why. Well, there was no reason to me why Naruto and Sasuke had to fight. And even at the end of the fight, we see that there really wasn't any reason for the fight, because all that was just talked out by Naruto. He said there was no reason for them to even fight in the first. Well, he didn't say that, but he was just basically saying that I'm gonna fight you not to kill you, but just to get you to see my point. They could have came to the same point without even having to fight. So it's like they beat each other up, and Sasuke just took out all his frustration and all his hatred within the fight, and that's all he needed in order to clear his mind. That's really all he needed to do. So I never really saw a reasoning for the fight in the first place. And going back to what Sasuke's thoughts were about his new Hokage, quote unquote, he wants to establish an Hokage system where all the blame goes to him, based on the fact that Itachi had to carry the burden of the village and what he has done in the shadows, and Itachi wasn't recognized for the things that he did. And that's what Sasuke presented himself as a Hokage. That's what he thought a Hokage was, which is his first mistake. The fact that he's taking what he thinks and applying that to everyone else, and which is the biggest flaw in any leader. They think whatever they think, or whatever they think is right, applies to everyone else. And Sasuke failed to realize that Naruto and his brother was right. I mean, at the end he did, but Naruto and his brother was right. It doesn't take one person. Sasuke himself can't just use what he thinks is right and wrong and put that on everyone else. It's not going to work out that way. And Naruto even asked, like, how are you going to do this? Do you think all the villagers are going to just say, sure? You think they're just going to accept this? It doesn't work that way. You can't just use your thoughts and what you think is right and not right, your ethics, and put it on the village and on everybody else. That it doesn't work that way. So I think chapter 699, we see Sasuke thinking back about how Naruto and Itachi always seemed to be a step ahead of him. He admired Naruto. You know, he was envious of Naruto. He explained that at chapter 699, which is kind of crazy, because he says that Sasuke said that he was alone. He was like, I'm alone, and it was silly of Itachi to think that would be just like him. I'm different from Itachi. I have my own thoughts, blah blah blah. And in actuality, Naruto was the one that was alone. Naruto from the get-go didn't have nobody. Like, Naruto didn't have nobody. Like, at least Sasuke had a family, and he has memories that he can look back on. Even in chapter 699, he was saying, "Oh, when I saw you, Naruto, when I saw you and I saw how you were and how you're trying to get everybody to believe in you and be your comrade, I thought back on my family and all the happy times, and I was happy because I was thinking about my family, etc., etc." So he had a family, he had enjoyment, he had a life. He, even after the thing that happened, even after his family got slaughtered, people were staying away from him only because of the fact that he's an Uchiha. That's not really something towards Sasuke himself individually. That's just how the villagers saw the Uchiha clan, because of the hatred and their ability to control the Nine-Tailed Fox and in the past and all that stuff. That's really the reason why. Because he had a Sharingan, he already have a basic like kind of hatred towards him because of the Sharingan itself, not because of Sasuke. People kind of felt bad for Sasuke. People saw when they were at the academy, all the girls liked Sasuke. Sasuke was always popular. The dude saw his moves and his Sharingan and everything. Well, he didn't really have a Sharingan back then, but he was part of the Uchiha clan. So he kind of had a popularity and kind of was envious, and people kind of envied Sasuke. And even Naruto, when he was a kid, envied Sasuke. So Sasuke he wasn't really alone as a kid. I mean, he was alone in the sense that he felt that he was alone, but everyone was kind of gathering around Sasuke because he was so quote unquote cool. But Naruto never had that. Naruto was always a lone kid. He was always a loner. The villagers turned their backs on Naruto. Naruto was casted out. Every time he was walking in the streets and he would see these dads with their kids, their dads would put him aside and say, "No, don't go near him. No, don't go near him." So Naruto was really the cast out. Sasuke wasn't really casted out. Sasuke had an internal battle with himself. That's what made Sasuke alone. He made himself that way. Instead of embracing everybody and embracing the popularity, and I don't blame him. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a reason to feel that he's alone, and he doesn't have a reason to feel that way. I mean, his family just got annihilated, so he does have a reason to feel that way. But at the same time, he had the opportunity to kind of not really let go of the past, but he had the opportunity to make something better of himself, and which is what Itachi kind of planned from the jump. Is what Itachi was kind of hoping that Sasuke would do, but Sasuke, like he said, he didn't do that. All the popularity that Sasuke had and all that stuff, and all these girls that were after him, Sakura, Inu, whatever, that were after him, all that popularity, he didn't accept the popularity. He kind of made himself that way, and he kind of casted himself out from everybody else. When Naruto was trying to be his friend, when Sakura was trying to be his friend, Kakashi, everyone's trying to be his friend. So that was kind of partially his fault. I don't blame him once again. But Naruto was completely casted out. No one wanted to be Naruto's friend. Naruto had to gain all that from everybody else. Sasuke never really had to gain that from nobody. He lost his privileges, if anything. Him leaving the village lost his privileges of having friends. Everyone wanted to be Sasuke's friend. But because of the way he carried himself, and he left the village with his own interior motives and all that stuff, finding Itachi and everything, he casted everybody out. And in Naruto's case, Naruto wanted in. Naruto wanted to be the popular kid. He wanted all that attention, but he didn't get it. But Sasuke was. So when he said I was always alone, I didn't really understand what he was trying to say, because he wasn't alone technically. But in an internal thing, when in his mind, he was alone. He felt like he was alone in his mind because he didn't have his family and stuff like that. So, but his thoughts on what a Hokage is, I can see what he means, but he's not that far off from Madara, because Madara was trying to do the same thing with Infinite Tsukuyomi. He was trying to put the burden of everyone else on his shoulders. That's exactly what Madara was trying to do, because Madara knows that nothing is ever going to change. We found out that even before chakra was invented, people were still having wars. Back when Kaguya didn't have the chakra, there were still wars going on. You can say it's because the chakra only enhanced it, but there was already wars going on way before. So you can't really change anything. That's just human nature. Sasuke couldn't change anything. That's what Naruto kept asking him all these questions, like, so what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen when you die? And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna be eternal." Like, how is Sasuke gonna just change all of this? How is he gonna get everybody to be on his side? Which is what Naruto was doing from the jump. I felt the fight itself was a good fight. Like, I like the fight. I think it'll be better to see animated. It was cool. And the ending was cool, because all the stuff that the ending presented could have all happened without them even fighting. But I guess that's how Kishi wanted to go. I do have a few problems. My first was Orochimaru. Now, if anybody sees this video, please leave your comment down in the comment section. Why is Orochimaru? What happened to? Why is he not in the story? What happened to Orochimaru? Did Kishi just say, "Man, fuck that nigga," and just continued on the story? Like, what happened to a villain anymore because there was a common villain? He was the bad guy from before. So all of a sudden, Orochimaru just becomes a good guy out of the blue. That doesn't make any sense to me. Orochimaru just was teaming up with them because, yes, they were a common enemy, but he's still a bad guy. So what? He didn't have enough power to fight Naruto and Sasuke. The reasoning behind Orochimaru not being the villain anymore, or the final villain or whatever. Why is Orochimaru not in the story anymore? What happened to Orochimaru? In chapter 700, I don't think we got an Orochimaru panel. What happened to those dudes? I mean, I can see Kabuto. He changed Itachi thing, but what happened to Orochimaru? And what the hell was Kaguya getting this army in place for? What was she trying to do? What was the end game? So there are a lot of questions that we're left with. I don't know if they're ever going to be answered. If anyone has the answers or think they know the answers to those questions, please leave them down below. What was this army that Kaguya was raising? What was it for Chimaru? Because you cannot tell me this nigga just changed out of the blue and he's now a good guy. That shit doesn't make any sense. And in chapter 700, which I think was a pretty cool chapter, seeing all the dudes' kids and everybody grew up and whatever, and Gaara's still looking beastly. But in chapter 700 was cool. I liked it. I liked the cover page, and it was all right. Those questions weren't answered in chapter 700, but those questions weren't answered, and we didn't see Orochimaru. So is he dead? Like, what happened to this nigga? So that's pretty much it, guys. Leave your comments down below of your thoughts on these chapters 695 through 700 in the fight itself, and the ideology of Sasuke, and the things that have been going on with him and Naruto. Naruto and Itachi were more of, their level of consciousness was completely higher than Sasuke, because Sasuke only thought about initially himself. All of the story for Sasuke was a self venture, besides the fact that he was trying to go after Itachi. And Itachi and Naruto were thinking about others. They always been thinking about others ever since the jump. So their level of consciousness and their level of thought is based on everyone else and not just themselves, which Sasuke realized at the end of their fight. And Sasuke just embraced everything, and now he's on this mission to clear his sins or whatever. At the end of chapter 700, we got like 1 page for Sasuke, which was weird. I wanted to see what he was actually doing, like was initially, but other than that, it was alright. Leave your comments down below on what you guys thought. I'm Edman. I'm out.